Welcome to the City Manager's Report. The City Manager's Report is your preview of the next Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda and an update from your Oshkosh City Manager. Your hosts, Emily Makowski of Oshkosh Community Media and City Manager Mark Roloff.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on your City Manager's Report, your source for all the local news and events happening here in your city of Oshkosh, as well as a preview of the upcoming City Council meeting agenda. I'm your host, Emily Makowski, joined as always by your City Manager, Mark Roloff. So, Mark, first of all, thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be here, Emily.
It always is great to have you. We're going to go ahead and dive into our hot topics for the first half of today's show, take a little break, and then we'll return with the review of the council meeting agenda for Tuesday, November 10th, 2015. So, Mark, first thing on our list of hot topics here that we have, you guys just got back, you and the council just got back from the League of Wisconsin Municipalities conference held in Milwaukee. So, how was it?
It was great. We had a lot of members, 5 of the 7 council members. I think we probably had the largest contingent by percentage of elected body in the entire state. Even with Milwaukee being right there, our presence was felt a great deal.
So
very wonderful.
Yes, and you were very active in the conference. You did give a few sessions, but maybe first you can tell us what exactly the League of Wisconsin Municipalities is.
Yeah, that I guess it would be appropriate. We talk about it all the time, but the League of Wisconsin Municipalities is the group that represents the interests of cities and villages throughout the state of Wisconsin at the legislative level. So they're a lobbying group. They're also a group that provides information to municipalities to share, ways to share resources or get questions answered. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter if you're a large city like Milwaukee or a small community, it provides that information that's good for a lot of communities to just have that resource available to you so you can solve problems that other communities may have addressed already, and they say, oh, I know how to do that. So that's what the League does in general, and the conference is our annual event where we come all together to talk about those things. Mm-hmm.
So really a useful group for you to kind of talk shop with other cities, and it's like you said, you're not all islands. You can communicate with each other, network a little bit, and solve some problems.
You'd be surprised at the resources that each individual community provides to the group. Even though we're one of the larger cities, we've gotten a lot of great ideas from smaller communities and vice versa. Mm-hmm. They may not have all the resources of staff, but they've seen everything from soup to nuts in their small community. So we share those issues in common, and it's a great way to exchange ideas.
Great. And at the conference, like you said, City was very present there. We had a lot of people show up to the conference, and you did actually present in 2 of the conference sessions. So maybe you can give us a little bit of an overview of what exactly those sessions were about.
Collectively, we were at 2 separate, and I say we, there were council members as well as city staff. Mm-hmm. Mayor Cummings and I were at a session that talked about the role of the professional manager. So Oshkosh and 2 other communities, smaller communities, shared how they utilize their managers or administrators, what the relationship is between the council, and how we make things work. So Mayor Cummings talked a lot about strategic planning and how that helps the organization move forward, and how the council provides input into the process and what the role of the manager is. And then meanwhile, a lot of our support staff, Assistant City Manager John Fitzpatrick, Finance Director Trina Larson, and Councilor Debbie Allison Osby made a presentation with Charlie Carlson. Mr. Carlson is somebody who assists us with our wage and benefit studies, and they did a presentation on how cities are coping in the aftermath of Act 10, how approaches to compensation have changed, and just a resource to share with others about what we're doing here in Oshkosh and how that relates. So it was a great exchange of ideas, and of course we went to sessions where we learned things, and then we got together and shared ideas. The mayor is almost like a field general at the conference, in that they talk to council members and, well, you should go to that session and I'll go to this one. Mm-hmm. And then, all right, let's go. We break, and then they break the huddle and they go to the sessions, and then they come back and share ideas. So that's the real value that they've taken out of this. And so I'm really pleased that they're engaged, and I think it's reaping benefits for us as well.
Yes, it's great to see the council's engagement in that and willingness to learn and, interact with other cities. Another really exciting thing that happened at the conference in Milwaukee is a Spark Award was awarded to Mayor Cummings, or to the city, from WIA for $3,000.
It was a great award that we got. $3,000 and seemed like a lot, but the whole idea, WIA Trust sponsors this, and the Spark Award, the Spark means is something that can spark something bigger with a very small donation. And the idea here is, you've heard a lot of it, the mayor's talked about the Lake Fly project. And the idea is that creating some art installations that'll celebrate the lake fly, as the mayor says, the much maligned lake fly, but an education program with the school district where they're going to talk about the value of the lake fly to our overall ecosystem, as well as some art materials that can be placed throughout the city and poke a little fun at the lake fly and our hatred of the lake fly because they are so annoying. But only we can appreciate that. But as we shared what we were doing with the grant with other communities, you could see the spark, which is I think the whole intention of the grant, is to spark ideas for other communities to do things. So we celebrated our idea, we shared it with others, and hopefully others will take that back to their communities and do something. But Mayor Cummings wants to work with students at Oshkosh North, Oshkosh West, and then spark conversations about the significance of the lake fly, even for those who don't care for it too much.
And I did see a little bit of a draft of what these lake flies might look like. So hopefully soon in the future we'll be able to see them popping up around town and kind of starting those conversations.
The art part, not the lake fly
the
part.
The art part, yes.
Because they do pop up. Come May, they're all over the place.
Yes, so it's just a cool project, and it's really kind of exciting to put a positive spin on something that typically would be a negative thing. So overall, great conference. It's great to hear all of the positive things that came out of it, and I guess welcome back from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Next thing we want to talk about is a big thing. Police chief candidate finalists have been chosen, narrowed it down to 5 people, and now we're moving on to the next stage, which would be the meet and greet.
The whole process has to do with engaging the community, because the police chief is such an important position, and as we've learned from Chief Groyle's tenure with the city, that the communications we got from the public were that a lot of the initiatives that Chief Groyle started, we want to continue. So I think the Police and Fire Commission were looking for leaders who wanted to carry that on. I mean, they may not know Chief Groyle, but they know the values that we're looking for. And so we've got some great candidates that the public is going to get to meet, because it is important that we get them to meet the public. So on Monday, November 16th, over at the Convention Center, it's in the Riverside Room. We got to show it off to these folks from 5 to 7 p.m. Police and Fire Commission, this is an open invitation for anybody in the community to come and meet and greet with any and all of the police chief candidates. The idea is to give the police chief candidates an idea to interact with our community. And how do they do? Are they liking what they see? Are they liking what they hear? And the community can hear things, and then the Police and Fire Commission can get an idea of what how these candidates interact in that larger setting, because that's what it's all about. It's about interacting with the public.
It's a really important aspect of choosing a new police chief, is how they interact with the public, because that is a very important part of what we're looking for.
Right. Now, I'm sure that those 5 very qualified individuals are going to feel a little bit like lab rats, and that's unfortunate, but it is part of the process of being a public servant, and I think they all understand that. So our goal is to find the right fit. These people are all eminently qualified. That's not the issue. The issue is, how do they fit best for Oshkosh? And I'm on one of the panels that'll be reviewing some of the applicants, and then we're going to be reporting back to the Police and Fire Commission. All the groups will. And then the Police and Fire Commission is going to have the very difficult job of deciding which one of these candidates best fits the Oshkosh community.
Yes, so the process is continuing November 16th, again, 5 to 7 p.m. at the Oshkosh Convention Center. Come on out and meet the final 5 candidates for the Oshkosh Police Chief. Mark, when are we expecting to hear the announcement of who our new police chief is?
I would suspect that we need to do background checks and things like that. I would suspect that sometime around Thanksgiving or shortly thereafter, we should be able to make an announcement. And we want to do that because ideally we would like the person to start shortly after the first of the year. That's when Chief Grohl is planning to retire. So we'd like to have very minimal overlap or very minimal gap in employment. We want a new chief to start as soon as possible.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to meeting the candidates and getting our great new police chief. Another update that we want to give is a little bit of a seasonal one. It's the leaf update. It has already gone through October. We're into November, and the last week for leaf collection, loose leaf collection, will be the week of the 16th, the last day being the 20th. And I know just driving around today, I've noticed a lot more leaves on the ground, so it's getting to be that time.
The winds in November are kicking up, and I know not all the leaves are down, but the whole idea is we want people to, if they want to get rid of the leaves, rake them over to the terrace. Please don't rake them into the street. That creates a danger situation. It's not good for the storm sewers, clogging it up and things like that. But it's the day after your normal trash collection day, and then we'll come by. You rake them up over on the along the terrace, and we'll bring the big vacuum out there and we'll take them away.
Yes.
But of course, if you don't get it there, then we ask you to bag them up in those biodegradable bags, and we'll be picking them up after the Thanksgiving holidays, about the week of December 7th.
Yes, so you can go to the website for more information on leaf pickup for all the guidelines and when your pickup day will be. Another update, another seasonal update, Mark, is that the holidays are already beginning. As I said, we're into November, and already looking towards the end of November, we've got some holiday events coming up. And even next week, we have the holiday parade coming up. So
it's amazing how quickly that pops up. But yeah, Thursday, November 12th, downtown Oshkosh. If you're traveling home, make sure you know where the routes are, because downtown roads, the cross streets will be closed off. You got to go a little bit to the north if you're living on the east side and you're coming home late, or just stop, park your car, and go watch the parade. One of the two.
And it's well worth it. The holiday parade is such a fun event, a nighttime parade, lots of great lights. The theme this year is Surf, Sand, and Santa, so we can expect to see some hula skirts and some palm trees and things like that. We'll be covering it on Oshkosh Community Media Services channel, CATV2. I myself and our friend Jane Wells from the Senior Center will be co-hosting, so go to our website for replay times of that. Otherwise, we hope to see you out there on Thursday the 12th. Next thing that we want to talk about dealing with the holidays is the Oshkosh Public Library, the Whoville holiday coming up at the end of the month on November 21st.
Great celebration of Dr. Seuss, The Grinch Stole Christmas. So the Whoville holiday is on November 21st at the library from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. A lot of fun. It's not just about reading, it's the activities, it's fun. If you have kids, I can't think of a better place to take your kids during the holidays. It combines reading, it combines fun, and the holidays. Great combination.
Yes, games, crafts, a little bit of story time too, and it really is a downtown event, so there'll be a lot of fun things happening downtown Oshkosh that day as well. Check out the library's website for more things that they have going on throughout the Christmas season. And then the last thing that we want to give a little plug to, Mark, is the Oshkosh Public Museum Deck the Halls. They are beginning to deck their halls. It's going to be starting on November 22nd, going through January 3rd.
Museum always does a wonderful job of showing off the beauty of the Sawyer home in a holiday mode. If you haven't been there, I absolutely encourage you to go. It's just spectacular what they can do to just make an old home just feel like your home.
Yes.
And that's the
so
fun
true.
part of it. And so, November 22nd, all the way through the end of the holidays, all the way through past, January 3rd. If you got a chance, take your family. If you got family visiting from out of town, maybe they haven't been to the museum in a while, if at all or ever, get them over there and show them and show off all the things that we have in Oshkosh to offer. It's a great family event, and I'm sure people will enjoy it.
Yes, really looking forward to it. We got lots of holiday events coming up, and we're just getting started. So just go to the city website for any updates for our city department holiday events. Otherwise, you can go to the Oshkosh Convention Center and Visitors Bureau website as well. So Mark, it's now that time of the show where viewers have the chance to ask their city manager anything they want about things that are happening right here in Oshkosh. So let's go ahead and see what the question for Question Mark is this week. This is actually a really good question, Mark. This week's question is, what can be done about people panhandling and asking for money around town? And that's something you kind of can't miss as you're driving by if there's someone standing out there. So
No, you sure can't. And we've been talking about a lot of light topics, and this is a much more serious topic. Even with the economy improving, we still have people out panhandling. We've looked at all the research, and the one thing that's the most important is, and we get a lot of complaints about panhandlers and people feeling that they're disruptive and we should stop them. They have First Amendment rights that we cannot stop them. If they violate any laws or physically grab you or something, the police department can do things. Private businesses, if they're on their properties, they can order them off their business, and if not, the police department can come in and move them away or arrest them if they fight that. But the best advice I can give to anybody is don't encourage the behavior by handing out money. Now, there might be some very legitimate people that are in need of money, and I certainly sympathize with those people, but we have a lot of very capable and very responsible nonprofit entities throughout the city that specifically are geared towards helping people in need. I would encourage you, if you feel strongly that you want to help people in need, to give to those organizations. I could reel them off. There's the United Way, there's the Salvation Army, the Day by Day Warming Shelter, Father Cars. I'm not doing a commercial for any of them because every one of them is good. The Food Pantry, St. Vinny's, any of those places that you want to donate to help people, I would encourage you to use that and discourage yourself and others from giving to the panhandlers, because you're reinforcing the behavior, and if you don't want to see it, you're actually going to see more of it. Right. Thinking you're going to get rid of somebody by giving them the money that's guaranteeing that they will be back the next day and the day after that. Plus, that's not the most effective way to raise money. It really is through our agencies.
So great answer. Definitely want to give and donate to our agencies that are helping people in need. So excellent question. If you have a question that you'd like to ask City Manager Mark Roloff, you can email it to questionmark@ci.oshkosh.wi.us. You can tweet it to us with the hashtag #questionmarkoshkosh, or you can post it on our Facebook page at Oshkosh Community Media Services. So we're going to take a quick break on City Manager's Report. When we come back, we'll dive into the City Council meeting agenda for Tuesday, November 10th. We'll be right back on City Manager's Report.
Stay connected with Oshkosh Community Media Services and the City of Oshkosh. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube. Sign up for e-updates. More resources, including video, at OshkoshCommunityMedia.org. Oshkosh Community Media is your media on your schedule. Connect with us today.
Want to know what's happening in local government? Stay in the know with City of Oshkosh government meetings, live on TV, City Cable 10, online at OshkoshCommunityMedia.org, and on Community Radio WOCT 101.9 FM. Miss the live coverage? No problem. Catch replays on City Cable 10. Stream online from OshkoshCommunityMedia.org or visit youtube.com/Oshkosh Community Media Services.
Welcome back to your City Manager's Report. Thanks again for joining us. I'm your host, Emily Mikowski, joined, of course, by your City Manager, Mark Roloff. So, Mark, first thing that we want to talk about in the City Council meeting agenda that we're going to go over for November 10th, 2015, is the city budget. And it seems like the past few weeks it's been budget, budget, budget. So I guess maybe you can give us some of the highlights that we can take a look at.
Sure. Well, this on Tuesday is the public hearing. So now it's the turn for the public to give their input. The council has held no less than 6 work sessions 3 of them before the budget was submitted to them to kind of prepare them for what to expect to see. And then we had 3 budget work sessions, 2 day-long work sessions with the departments on their operating and capital budgets, and then the one that was just held the other day on November 4th, the workshop on our TIF districts and our public works capital projects, the ones that people can see and get impacted by the most. So we've had 6 budget work sessions. The summary of the budget is our budget for our operating budget for 2016 is proposed at $71.6 million. It's about a 2.2% increase. That does not include our utilities or some of our other special funds. But that's our main operating budget that people are very familiar with all the basic services. The tax levy is proposed to increase by about 2.67%. And that is something that is subject to final council approval. They can take that up or down at their discretion depending on what input they receive from the public. They've gotten a lot of input, asked a lot of questions at the work sessions, but before they do anything, they need that last part of it. And so if you're interested, look at all the budget work sessions. Come and take a look at the budget either at the city clerk's office or the library or online. But some of the other summaries is we were able to balance the budget primarily this year with the significant savings in our health insurance program, about $1.3 million we're going to be saving, and that's including adding a dental component to our plan that will down the road help us with complying with some Affordable Care Act, because dental doesn't necessarily count in there. So other things we're doing, we're real happy about doing that. And then the other one that's gotten some interest recently has been the proposal to add body cameras to our police department, which is something that is growing in popularity and I think acceptance. And so I think the time is right to have that discussion.
Okay. Well, the body cams has really been a big topic of discussion, like you said. And any other major changes that we can look at with the budget that might be, a surprise to us?
Well, one of the discussions that isn't necessarily in the budget but came up through the budget meetings is there's a great interest among the council members to look at a municipal court. We don't have one. We're the only city or village in Winnebago County that doesn't have a municipal court. So the council has directed me to take a look at the feasibility of a municipal court. There's a lot of facility issues, a lot of cost considerations, but we want to make sure that we're effectively enforcing our codes, and we believe that perhaps we might do better if we operate our own court. We'll find out how much it costs, pros and cons of it, but it came out through multiple discussions with departments, whether it's community development or police or the city attorney's office, building inspection. All those departments indicated a need that may be filled with a municipal court.
Okay, interesting topic. So we'll look forward to hearing more about that at the council meeting. But again, we're encouraging the public to either come to the meeting or call or email their city council members and give their input on the 2016 city budget. Mark, next thing we want to talk about, item number 12, Ordinance 15-478, is dealing with some bike lanes, designating bicycle lanes on Taft Avenue between North Keller Road and North Sawyer Street.
This doesn't seem like a big deal, but when I show you the map, you're going to see why I'm excited about this, because whenever I've talked about bikes and trails, it's the little pieces add up to big pieces, and the area that's highlighted on the map just shows the part of Taft Avenue that's being proposed. But on the far left is where Keller Street and I-41 come in, and even though this portion ends at Sawyer Street, the trail will continue east on Taft, and before Taft hits the river there on the right side of the map here, it turns into Campbell Road, and Campbell snakes its way around the Titan Sports Complex, past our sewage treatment plant, and ends over by the Senior Center and Fox Valley Technical College, which is magically connects to our South Side Riverwalk. So literally, we're talking about connecting Highway 41 with the downtown. We've talked about different ways to do this. This is gonna do it. And it's just a very simple, a very obvious one because it serves Oshkosh West, but this is one of those aha moments when you're talking about our bike plan that says, yep, we're connecting the dots, and that's what this is about, and I'm very excited to be seeing this getting added to our bike system.
It is exciting, and like you said, it might not seem like a big deal when we're looking at it here on paper, but once you see the map, it makes a huge difference, and it's really connecting that I-41 corridor to our beautiful Riverwalk, and it's a great addition. When are we expecting the painting to begin?
This will happen next spring. The budget has to get adopted to have that. It's a simple paint job, but the paint has to get done at the right time of year. So we're not going to be painting it next week, even though we've had some really good weather. We wait until spring, summer before we do these things.
Excellent. Looking forward to it. Under new resolutions, Mark, we want to talk about item number 16, Resolution 15-482, approve authorizing the submission of Wisconsin Department of Transportation Facilities for Economic Assistance Grant application. This is a pretty juicy topic. Maybe you can first tell us what exactly this topic means, because we have been actually discussing it a lot over the past few years.
A lot of people refer to this as the solution for the Allerton Drive problem. If you live over in the West Haven area, you're very familiar with it. It's just off of Washburn Street, but there's a rail spur that goes right behind some residential houses. And the railroad has been loading trucks, primarily from Oshkosh Corporation, but they've been loading rail cars for the last couple years, and the residents have rightfully complained a great deal. We approached Wisconsin and Southern Railroad, and this took a couple years because we only had so much money we could contribute. And this project has really grown that we've identified a facility. So on the right side of this, you see where the current loading facility is. It's right adjacent to a residential area. The proposed area is in the heart of our industrial park, away from residences where it's going to disrupt, and it's closer to businesses. This transloading facility is going to benefit businesses in the industrial park, as well as take care of Oshkosh Corporation trucks. And it's also going to create a benefit of providing some other facilities that trucks from around the state can go to this facility and get on rail cars and get elsewhere. So we're really excited about that.
It's really a situation that everybody wins. The residential neighborhoods that have been having to deal with this for years can now finally sleep soundly at night, and these businesses are really going to take advantage of that. So
absolutely.
Looking forward to that taking place. Next item we want to talk about, Resolution 15-483, is approve Phase 2 of the 2015 Great Neighborhoods Capital Improvement Program.
We've done a couple of these last few weeks. This one is for what's called the Marina District. There's stuff in the river that has been there for a while, and the Marina District folks would like that cleaned up. The $20,000 is going to go towards a variety of different cleanup projects along the marina area. So we're real excited that the neighbors are getting going with this. So we're looking forward to the cleanup and getting the neighborhood engaged. And you do projects that they relate with, and this is the one that they would like to see.
Great. Last couple items we want to squeeze in here, Mark, is item number 19 and 20. First one, approve employee health insurance for 2016, and second one is designate health insurance reserves. So first, give us a little background on the first item.
They're really related. The health insurance program I mentioned earlier with the budget, we did some bidding, and we're going to save ourselves about $1.3 million by switching health plans that really help balance the budget. We have what's called a self-insured fund. We're going to be getting rid of that, and so we're going to have some reserves there when that program closes out, and the council wants to make sure that that is still set aside for health insurance purposes for the future. So save $1.3 million and set some money aside for changes that we may need to make down the road for health insurance.
That's great. We like the sound of that. So 2-page agenda, packed show today. Thanks, Mark, again, as always, for joining us on City Manager's Report.
You bet.
Again, the City Council meeting is this Tuesday, November 10th at 6 p.m. You can watch it live on City Cable 10 or on OshkoshCommunityMedia.org. You can also listen to it at 101.9 FM WOCT, which is now also online on the TuneIn Radio app for mobile devices. Make sure to like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter for all your community and government programming and updates, or check out our YouTube channel for government meeting replays and past episodes of your favorite programs. Of course, you cannot forget, if you do have a question for Mark for the Question Mark segment, you can email it to us at questionmark@ci.oshkosh.wi.us, and he'll answer it on the next episode of CMR. Thank you for joining us on City Manager's Report, and we'll see you next time.